Yes, I'm going to tell you right now that you're full of crap and you know it. This sister whose career was stopped, no one knows who she is. However, I remember her from the 1980s when she was in a witchcraft movie, which was a hokey movie, and then Blake Lively swooped in and stole her career. So what does that tell you? That she comes from a family of actors and actresses. That means she didn't have a balanced childhood. Blake Lively didn't have a balanced childhood because she grew up in Hollywood, because she started her acting career when she was, in her teens? That says everything about who a person is. You do get that, right? All things that they want to hide from you, specifically speaking to the daily news. This isn't real news, by the way. This is not real news. This is not even really interesting to people, even though you've got the music in the background. People don't want to watch your shit. It's that there is no other option. You're forcing your dialogue from your teens and your tweens down our throats and forcing us into submission to believe in your opinions versus the law. That's illegal. The right to a fair and speedy trial. The right to a fair and speedy trial isn't just announcing that somebody's guilty when they're 100% innocent, because that weighs over their head for their entire career, because you at the Daily News refuse to do what's right. You never do what's right. You only do what's right for your bank account, your pocketbooks, and then you compete with everybody else who are invalid and psychotic and sick in the fucking head to violate audiences. Because we have no control over a voluminous amount of insecure people, because you created that for these people. You created it by pushing out Kim Kardashian content. And then you hired people who wanted to be friends with Kim Kardashian. Then you realized that Kim Kardashian was a violent abuser like Blake Lively. And then you wanted revenge on Blake Lively and Kim Kardashian, but you never told the truth to the audience that they were abusive and vile. Except we have evidence of Blake Lively doing interviews with multiple women and multiple people of how she's a complete piece of trash. Not only that, we also have images and video of Justin and her, and how there's no sign, literally we can evaluate this, which we have done on the Truth Social page, of how you're all a bunch of fucking liars. What do you have to say about that? You probably don't have anything to say about it because you're weak. You're weak people. You think because you're standing behind the name The Daily News that nobody will ever find out that you're operating unethically and illegally, and let's not forget immorally. See, my content is the real shit. My content is. Meaning you should be chasing this story. Yet you don't, do you? Because you'd rather hang out with Blake Lively and get that feeling of an uplift of fake tits and a vagina clit. You want to feel Hollywood instead of do your fucking jobs. See, my private parts are tingling for you because that's how you feel when you're around Blake Lively. You don't think I can control that shit? It's called burning sensation, like a infection. That's an infection that you're feeling when you look at that Blake Lively set of boobies. You do get that, right? That's an infection. Like an STD. Because that's how many times that she gets an STD, is every time your private part tingles when you look at one of these women. Any woman, whether it's walking down the street, whether it's on a video. They don't want to produce real creative content of stories of people telling stories. No, they want XXX. That's what you want, Daily News, because you don't have any brain inside your fucking heads, do you? That's why you posted this piece of content. That's why you violate people on a regular basis. That's why your comment section looks like your comment section. Fuck your comment section. You devalue everyone every time that you ignore someone's content who is literally producing value. You're not producing shit. You're producing garbage. Let's not forget about the era that I went through of going into your workers' pages and commenting the fuck out of your pages. Literally. Boom, boom, boom. There's evidence of this shit. Ignored, 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 and they wanted to point fingers at me as if I was the problem. No, you fucking blacklisted my ass, and then you promoted people like Blake Lively and Taylor Swift, who are already famous, who don't produce anything of value. They literally manipulate and abuse the hell out of everybody, and you never held them accountable or had any expectations. And you're how old? Who gave these people a job? Go take a look at Lorenz. You know who I'm talking about. Taylor Lorenz. Where did she work? You're responsible for these youth who literally have no sense of reality, live in delusion, and try to altercate and create altered behavior of the new norm, of the opposite of what it means to be a human being, so that they can look cool on platform, while learning absolutely nothing in the world. They don't do shit for nobody. This content that you're producing, no, you produce, daily news, is nothing but filth. A tabloid worse than a tabloid, because these people think that you're an authentic news place for a source because you consistently post things about politics. You blur the lines between politics and Hollywood, which means that you're responsible for the falling of the Democratic Party. You do understand that, right? That you, Daily News, all these platforms are responsible for blurring the lines of Hollywood to assist people like AOC and Kamala Harris for overthrowing the Democratic Party to hand it over to the Middle East while you used communism. This is facts. This is all through my content. Every piece of content. Have you seen that video that you need to watch? Every evidence that needs to be seen around what you've done to me, you are going to be closed. Not going to be. You are closed. You forced yourselves upon, you know, like a man, or excuse me, a woman forces herself on a man, like Blake Lively did in the movie called It Ends With Us. It ends with us, meaning women ain't gonna do this to men no more. That's for Weinstein too, because I watched the documentary of the women accusing Weinstein, and I know the type of women that they are, and he's innocent, but they didn't like the fact that he supported Donald Trump. They didn't like the fact that Weinstein didn't want Obama. And so Obama, just like you did P. Diddy, just like you're doing to Jay-Z, and you better believe I don't like you, Jay-Z. It's not about whether you like someone or not. It's about whether justice is being served. You all are mentally fucking ill. You have no idea what you've done to this country, nor do you care. No, they care. They fucking care, because that's why they're shaking in their fucking shoes. They're all just trying to finagle their way to the millions of people that are not on TikTok, that are customers to Blake Lively. However, they haven't figured out that she's a psycho bitch. They don't watch TikTok. However, after all this, they're going to know. They're going to know who Blake Lively is. They're going to know who Hollywood is. They're going to know who Jessica Alba is. They're going to know who each and every one of you motherfuckers on these platforms are. And I'm going to ensure and make sure that you all get what you deserve. Because if Taylor Swift says karma is real, her side of the street sure as fuck ain't real. But her boyfriend's the karma. And her side of the street might be clean. So I guess maybe it is clean. She hired a maid and a chef and a decorator and a closet organizer and all the other things, which makes it look clean. And that's what she actually means in that song, because her side of the street is clearly unclean. Take a look at her performance, take a look at the sounds, take a look at the songs, and take a look at Blake Lively, because they're two peas in a pod. And you ain't going nowhere in this life, bitch. And your children will expose you who you are. Your children are exposing you for who you are. And so will Ryan Reynolds. Do you hear what I'm telling you? Or do you not hear because you're too busy looking at Blake Lively's body as she wears Britney Spears' dress? How in your mind do you think that's normal for Tate McRae and Blake Lively to steal someone else's legacy? How could you look at yourselves in the mirror for what you've done to us? That's for you at this, whatever fucking channel this is. How can you live with yourselves?